Hey, this is Lindsay, and I am a coach, and I have a coaching practice called Coaching Life Alchemy. And I am making this video today to respond to some questions from my last video I made, looking at risk and kind of deconstructing risk and how to relate to it to create more happiness in our life. And the question that I got that I'm going to look at today is how to balance risk and security, which is an awesome question. It's different for everybody, but this is what is the same. I think some of this process is still the same. So I would start with looking at what is risk to you and what is security to you. Like go through and deconstruct it and define it. Like break it down and see really what it means to you. And I think that first, don't feel wrong either way. Like I think sometimes there can be an assumption that if we want security, that means that we're weak or wimpy or like playing it safe, something like that. But I think security is really important. And again, you got to define what is security to you. And then when you're looking at the risk that you want to take, I would write out what are the facts and what are the interpretations. So the facts are like it would require X amount of money. It would require that I get a business license, put in X amount of time on this project or going to the gym or something. Like define write out the facts of what are the actual things involved. And then also the interpretations of what are you making up about it? How are you interpreting those things? How are you relating to it? Because that's all the stuff that's in your head that may or may not be actually occurring. So in doing this, you might be able to create some space between what's real and to identify what some of your fears are so they don't have to be you. They can just be something that's going on within you. And I think this gives more power to how we relate to things. And then I would also look at what is it exactly that you're risking, like risking within yourself. And yes, of course, like looking at things like time, money, things like that. But I would encourage you to look at the fears you have around it and what it is that you're actually risking within you. Like risking being judged by other people, risking, maybe risking money, risking not knowing what you're doing, risking feeling stuck, maybe risking not trusting yourself, experiencing that. And it might just be that it's a risk in possibly experiencing failure. And my vote is that any risk, if the biggest fear involved is I might fail, then absolutely do it. Because experiencing failure, I think we have this big illusion that experiencing failure means like it's death and it only happens once in a while and it's a really big deal. And it can be. And also, I want to really normalize failure. Because, meaning we fail at things all the time. And what we define as failure is different for everybody as well. Sometimes something may not go the way we wanted it to go, and we can deem it a failure. Something might completely blow up in our face, and it could also feel like a failure. So the spectrum, I think, can be pretty wide. So knowing what is really a failure to you, and I'd look at why you don't want to experience it. I get that it's never going to feel good, but I also want to land that it's normal. I just went to this big convention, and I heard in every single big leader that was speaking that they talked about failure after failure after failure and how it just comes with the territory. So in a lot of ways, what I took away from that is if I want to accomplish something bigger than myself, experience something bigger than what I have right now, it's going to have some failure along the way. Like it just comes with the territory. And it's up to me to decide what I do with it, what I make up about it, how I let that guide the rest of my course. Because I think it is like bumpers on a bowling alley. It can be just what kind of gives you feedback towards what will work. So it's up to us to decide what we really want to do with it. But it really does, like, it's just part of being human. It's part of moving through things. And so that could impact how you decide to go into the risk in the first place. And also, like, going back to security, that piece of it. I think security is really important, that we feel safe and taken care of. It's like part of our primary need. So not overextending yourself in a reckless way, I think, is always good to be careful of. Like common sense, but not comfort zone sense, if that makes sense. And the last couple things I want to say about this are that if you notice that it's failure that really has you, just, I don't want to fail, I don't want to fail, then I would stop and look at what are your interpretations of failure and write them down. Like, it would mean I suck. It would mean I'm stupid. It'd mean I'm not enough. It'd mean I'm unlovable. It'd mean I'm not creative. It would mean whatever. And I would write down all those messages that you would say to yourself if you failed. And look at how much are you telling yourself those things anyway. Because I think that usually it's not new news. We just feel like it would be new. But most of the time we're putting those burdens on ourselves anyway. Like it's an illusion that it would happen later after we failed. We're already punishing ourselves with it now. And that's probably why the fear or the risk can feel so big, because we've already made ourselves so small. Yeah. So that was a phenomenal question, and I do hope this supports you. And if any of you have any questions about this, about some other topic, around coaching, personal growth, maybe something coming up for you in life, comment here, or you can shoot me a private message, whatever. I'd be happy to address it, talk about it. It's always good to stir the pot. And also, for those of you that I know rigorously watch whatever I post, thank you. And if you want to be sure you don't miss something, if you like my Coaching Life Alchemy Facebook page, then you'll get a little, like, update every time I post something. So thank you for watching. Thank you for contributing. And I'm happy to be in this conversation with you. Happy Friday night. Bye.